Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good in our community. And we love having our City Current partners come on talking about the good that they're doing. And in this case, a lot of good. We have new jobs, new opportunities, unicorns, billions to talk about, a lot of food to make you hungry. We are joined by Karl Schledwitz. He is the chairman and CEO of Monogram Food Solutions. And let's have some fun. Karl, how are you doing?
Doing outstanding. Maybe not as excited as you are, but you have that contagious enthusiasm all the time. But I am doing great, and so is Monogram.
Well, hey, we have a lot of good to talk about, absolutely. And as I mentioned, we get to make our viewers and our listeners a little bit hungry with all you do.
Sure.
Let's start with a little backstory for you on your end, chairman and CEO, writing the business plan. Give us a little backstory for Monogram Food Solutions, and then we'll start diving into all you do.
Sure. Wes Jackson and I started Monogram 17 years ago with 8 employees. Today, we have over 3,500 employees with 13 manufacturing plants in 7 different states, with our headquarters right here in Memphis. And so it's been a fun journey.
You are the inventors of bacon jerky. And so, when you talk about meat, there's a lot of meat in your backstory, but give us a little bit when you talk about the different foods, everything from croissants and now baked goods, appetizers, frozen. I mean, you cover a wide bandwidth. Tease us on the food side.
Sure. So for the most part, we're what's called a co-manufacturer or a private label provider. So if you go into Walmart and bought a private label corn dog or Kroger or private label jerky, we likely made it. On the other hand, there are brands that we make product for them. About 5% of our business, or maybe a little bit more, is brands that we own. So locally, people recognize the Circle B brand and the King Cotton brand. And we're very proud of those, and those are important to us. But the truth is they are a very small part of overall what we do. We're not really known as a branded company. We're a co-manufacturer.
You've been listed on Inc.'s fastest growing companies list for over a decade now. Is that organic growth, acquisition? Talk about where the growth is happening and coming from.
Well, first of all, it's on the Inc. 500 list longer than any company in the history of Inc. 500. We've been on it 11 years, would have been on it 12 had I applied the first year, and there's not another company that's ever made it 10 years. So we're particularly proud of that growth. What surprises a lot of people is when you dissect it, over half of our growth has actually come organically. We're growing with our customers. You read in the paper when we do an acquisition, it gets more press, but about 60-something% of our business is organic. So once we buy a plant, we grow it, or once we get in making a product, we make more and more for that customer or others. So, but it is a combination of organic and acquisitions.
How do you decide what sort of new product lines to launch, acquisitions? Like, what is that decision-making process in terms of the fit and where it fits into the next stage for the company?
Yeah, we have a very structured, detailed strategy that we've gone through that tries to make us stay disciplined and focused. When you're a co-manufacturer, you're trying to satisfy your customers' needs. And so we like to say, hey, if our customers got an itch, we try to scratch it. So a lot of times we've gotten into spaces because our customers ask us to. So it's customer centric.
Nice. We were talking before we jumped in and started to record this, but define unicorn, because you all are a unicorn. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so if you look up the Wikipedia or the CNBC definition of unicorn from a business standpoint, Now, there's other definitions of unicorns that we're not, but on the business side of unicorn, it is a startup private company that has reached over $1 billion valuation. And there are less than 500 in the country. Now, once a company goes public, Uber would be an example. They used to be a unicorn. When they went public, you're no longer a unicorn. And there's new ones coming on and old ones leaving the list. But there are less than 500 in the country and less than 1,000 in the world, according to the data. So we're very proud. I don't know if there's any others in Memphis. I hope there are, but I know we're proud to be one.
Absolutely. You yourself have gotten many awards and recognitions: CEO of the Year by Inside Memphis Business, the Richard L. Knowlton Award for Innovation Leadership and Business Acumen, Ernst & Young. I mean, when you look at all these awards, but also when you look at the growth and the development and the number of employees now and the lives that you have a chance to transform, what puts a smile on your face when you look at how far the company has gone and now being a unicorn? What puts a smile on your face?
Well, most of the awards are team awards. You when you have a title like I do, you get to be the recipient of them, but it's reflective of team effort always. And what makes me happiest is knowing that we are providing good quality jobs and that we're giving back to the communities where we live and work, and we're doing it the right way with a commitment to diversity and sustainability, and we're trying to be good citizens and good employers, and it's fun when you do that and you do it the right way. Our mission is to to be the food partner that makes it better, and we're trying to make everything we do better, not just the lives of our employees, but our relationships with our customers and our communities, which is why Monogram Loves Kids is so important.
Absolutely. And so I was about to say that's a great segue into all of your
Sure.
philanthropic efforts. And you and your team, I mean, you've won the Spark Award. When you talk about your community efforts and what you're doing, it's huge. And at this point, I know you've reached a really impressive milestone, over $15 million in terms of what you're able to use to support nonprofits. Give us a little bit of the background for the Monogram Loves Kids Foundation. Let's start there, and then we'll talk about a big upcoming event.
This is actually our 10th year, and we started this having a gala. The first year was the opening event at what is now Bill Street Landing. The next 8 years were in the what used to be, what still is, the One Commerce Square, the old NBC Bank building, and this year will be our first year in the new convention center. And prior to this year, we had that one event a year, and it has grown. Jeff Morris, who is our auctioneer, who does lots of charitable events, believes it's the largest single night fundraiser in Memphis each year. We raise $600,000 to $700,000, mainly from our customers and vendors that we ask once a year to contribute to this, but also through a silent auction, a live auction, and ticket sales. And we'll have 600 to 800 people, and we take that money and redistribute it into the communities where we have plants, including offices, including Memphis, and let the team members decide what children's charities within a 50-mile radius they want to make grants to. This year, we did something special. In August, we did a dividend recap, which was really just a refinancing of the company. And I'm proud to say that our shareholders got their money back, plus a very, very handsome return. And we asked them in a very tax efficient way to donate some of their stock into the community foundation. And we received over $10 million from our shareholders to endow the Monogram Loves Kids. So we will continue having this annual event, but now we have the proceeds from our endowment to go along with it, which will make our ability to give larger and more numerous gifts than we have in the past.
Well, and I just love the fact that you make that such a priority. I mean, obviously it's embedded in the culture, the DNA for you, your family, the company, the whole nine yards. I mean, you yourself were so heavily involved throughout the city, but then when you look at the ability to leverage the dividend to then endow, and then what that means to be able to magnify your efforts, it's just awesome because it shows that it's a priority. It shows that it's important. And I think that speaks so much about your team and just how much you're trying to leverage all of your opportunities to be able to give back and make a difference. Talk about the event. It's Thursday, March 24th is the date. And you mentioned the venue, but give us an idea of just, tickets and how it works. Give us some of the logistics.
Sure. Historically, we've always had this the third or fourth Thursday in October. And this past October, because of COVID, we postponed it. So this event in March is really a makeup for 2021, and we will have our regular October 26th event also at the same venue. So we're going to have two this year, one making up for last year and this one. And the entertainment, which we love, we have the Sound Fusion, which is the University of Memphis jazz band and ensemble, and there's 17 or 19 unbelievably talented young students that come, and they love it because they don't typically get to perform at that large of a venue. And we tried them out a few years ago and have gotten such a phenomenal response. We don't even think about anybody else. And we make a generous contribution to the University of Memphis music department to compensate them. And so that's the music. We have a big silent auction, a very large live auction that Jeff Morris does for us every year. And then the real feature of the evening, being a food company, is we have it's going to be 12 chefs this year, and they're talented men and women like Erling Jensen and others that come and prepare two dishes, and everybody that comes gets a menu book with recipes for the dishes that are being offered. And one of the dishes has to have one of our products in it. So I'll never forget, just a couple of years ago, speaking of Erling, he had escargot with king cotton bologna. And it may not sound good, but it was pretty darn, it was definitely different. And there was nobody complaining about it. We ran out of it pretty early. So you have to, and then the other entree or appetizer will be his or hers own selection. And Ashley provides chocolates. We just have a wide range of food. We have an open bar. We ask people to donate $125 for a ticket. And we ask them to come with a credit card to bid on live and silent auctions. And trust me, with an open bar and 11 or 12 of Memphis' finest chefs feeding you and jazz fusion entertaining you, it's a fun evening. There's a reason it keeps growing each year. We literally moved it to the new convention center because we tapped out at about 600 people previously, and think this year will even be bigger.
Yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to it for sure. When you look ahead, and obviously being able to have two events this year, that's good. And you also have job openings and all sorts of other good news to share. Give us a little bit of a teaser on the job openings and some of the other just good news looking forward for 2022 and beyond.
Yeah, we have, over our history, we've averaged 34% compounded annual growth rate over 17 years. Obviously, the larger you get, the harder that is to maintain that high of a percentage. but our growth projections are such that we are contemplating adding 50 to 75 local jobs in the next 12 to 24 months. They're all headquarter jobs, so they can be in IT or finance or accounts receivable or sales, marketing, supply chain, legal, etc. We also have a very robust intern program, and we were restricted last year because of COVID, but we're encouraging college juniors and seniors and graduate students to go online to monogramfoods.com if they want to apply for an internship. And that's also where you can check what job openings we have, which we have many right now and more coming. So we're proud to be Memphis based. We're a Memphis centric company. I was born and raised in Memphis, and we have no reason to think we'll ever be anything but a Memphis based company. So come join us.
I love it. Absolutely. Well, you mentioned it, but go ahead and mention it again. You never can say it enough. Mention the website. Where do we go to learn more, not only about the jobs and everything you're doing with Monogram Food Solutions, but also to the big event coming up on March 24th and the next one in October?
Right. It's monogramfoods.com. And we start about 5:30 because with an open bar, you got to start early is what we're told. And with that much food to eat, and it is a weeknight, a Thursday, so we try to wrap up about 9, but it is 3.5 hours of really a lot of fun. We also have our annual vendors conference in conjunction with this. So we have a couple of hundred out of town guests that come to it, and they get to soak up some of Memphis and enjoy some of that. So it really is fun in so many ways, and it's obviously a great cause. We do it with all volunteers. So the last thing I'll tell you is we average about 92% of every dollar that we raise goes back into the community foundation. So we obviously do pay for the venue and some food and drinks and stuff. So there are some expenses, but there's no paid staff. Sally Vaughn, who's listening in right now, coordinates lots of volunteers, and she will gladly take more if you reach out to her.
Well, Karl, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. You do so much good for our community. We greatly appreciate it. Everyone, you can go to the Facebook page for Monogram Loves Kids Foundation, their Meet Me in Memphis Gala event. All the information, you can purchase tickets. Everything is there on the Facebook page. So go there to learn more. But Karl, thank you for all you do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.